Behold, my friend, this is going to be one of the most deepest and profoundest episodes, conversations, podcasts that you will ever listen in your life. I assure you that. So I need from you in this episode a perfect focus, a perfect open mindedness, a perfect devotion for your own introspection and insights. Not devotion for what I am saying. Who cares what I am saying? I am not truth. I will be speaking truth, at least at the best of my ability, the best that I can, with my own level of maturity, understanding, insight. But always remember that the most important thing that you will derive from this podcast and from every episode and from every book, movie, novel that you read, podcast that you listen is your own insight, your own conclusion. That is your truth. And your truth is what is going to revolutionize your destiny. So take the best, leave the rest on this episode. And also, I want to tell you, I am in the journey of understanding truth. I don't have all the answers. This episode, I have been procrastinating this episode because I didn't feel ready to do it, honestly. But I said, you know what? If I continue postergating the inevitable, I will never face my demon. I need to face truth. Although I know I'm still trying to decipher some mechanics, some dynamics, some infrastructures of truth. I will speak about it, at least what I know for now. In the future, I will be doing a whole course about this. I will be doing more episodes, more future content about this because truth is God. Truth is integrity, is love, is consciousness, is a high value, like life purpose, like infinite intelligence, like compassion, like beauty. These things, you cannot only arrest them in one content of 45 minutes or 1 hour or 3 hours. This is a lifetime work, a lifetime of insights. So I will give you what I have today at my 28 years old and my current level of development. But understand, this is an incomplete work. This is a work on progress. So the most important thing that you can actually do in this episode is to listen to my perception of truth and to find and to discover and to hustle your own truth after this. If this episode can inspire you to look for truth, I accomplish my objective. Because your exploration of truth, it will give you so many treasures. It will give you so many beauty, so many art, so many fire in your eyes, so many vitalism in your biography. It will give you so much meaning. It will give you so much deepness in your heart, in your soul, as a human being, as a divine being, as a God, as a bridge between the finitude and the infinitude, the temporary and the eternal. It will give you power, divine, lovable power. But only if you continue to search truth. This basically is the most important episode of the Mastermind Podcast Challenge Season 2. If you have been doing this challenge, basically, you can go to the reproduction list in my Spotify station, also in my YouTube channel, and there you can find the whole challenge. But this is a challenge for a whole year, one episode, 5 days per week. And in the first episode, in the beginning, I say to you in this challenge, what I will give you are actualizable truths, truths that you can actualize, that you can realize in your life. Some of them you will be able to do it. Some of them you will not be able to do it. Some of them you may not be interested in doing it. It doesn't matter. You do what you have to do. You do what resonates with you. You do whatever is burning in your heart. But in this episode, we are going to discuss truth as an actualizable truth. So I have been giving you truths after truths after truths without explaining to you what is a truth. But the day has come. My friend, today we are going to discuss finally what is truth. And welcome to the most transformative podcast in the multiverse. This is the Mastermind Podcast Challenge. You know what is coming next? Season 2 with your host, your favorite doctor of all time, the Papacito of Puerto Rico, Dr. Derek, and this is the episode 595. And my friend, what is truth? What is truth? Truth is what is. That's it. Truth is whatever is. And that is that. If you can understand this truth, you understand basically the infrastructure of life, the infrastructure of consciousness itself, the infrastructure of love and God. What is God? God is what is. What is love? Love is what is. What is consciousness? Well, whatever consciousness is assuming in that form or in that moment, whatever morphology consciousness is in that moment, well, that is what is truth. Whatever is. Truth is what is true in an absolutist form. No way around it. You cannot find any manipulation in truth. You cannot find any lie in truth. You cannot find any division, any splitting in truth. You cannot find any ego in truth. Truth is what is the most perfect status of reality, the most primal state of a thing, the most uncontaminated, uninterrupted version of whatever is. That is the truth of the thing. And now, this may sound a little bit profound for some of you if you can appreciate the wisdom behind these words. For others, maybe for you, you will find this kind of empty. Like, is this the most important episode, Derek? Seriously? Just to say truth is whatever is? This sounds silly. This sounds stupid. This is not the most important episode. Right? That is a new phase that that I'm practicing now for the for the funny part of the podcast. I don't know if it is funny, but I try to be funny sometimes, to make it more approachable, because these subjects are not the most fun subjects in the world, but are the most important subjects in the world. If we can discuss truth in politics, trust me, it's going to be so important for politics. If we can discuss truth in movies, in music, in culture, in religion, dude, it will change the whole paradigm of it. Just imagine religions discussing, not imposing what is truth, but questioning what is truth. What is truth? And then trying from scratch to construct truth, to actualize new truths. Just imagine political parties, Democrats, uh, capitalists, from the right, from the left, just trying to say truth, to be truth, not in ego, but in truth, in cosmical truth. It will change the whole thing. It will change poverty, it will change institutions, policies, culture, civilizations, media, entertainment, socialization, education. That's why I say this is the most important subject in the world. But nevertheless, almost no one discussed this. Oh, maybe so a couple of philosophers here and there. But your professors, they didn't taught you what is truth. Your teachers, they didn't say that to you, right? But truth is the most remediative thing in the world. If we can live in truth, in exactly what is, in the most pure form, in the highest form as possible, we are going to build a different life. You're going to live a different life. Integrity will not be an option anymore if you are living in truth. Love, it will not be an option anymore. Oh, I love you, but not you. I love blacks, but not whites. I love yellow, but not red. No, that's not truth. That is a partial, notice, it's a partial thing, it's a relative thing, it's a divisionary, splitting thing. That is not truth. Love is truth, but absolute love. Not the love of I love you, but, or I love you if. No, that is not Christ love. That is not Krishna love. And remember, when we say Christ, when we say Krishna, we say truth. All the prophets, all the pioneers of religions are considered truth. Because if not, they who will follow something that is a lie? It's impossible because you will lack integrity. If you want more on that, you should take my course titled "How to Be Ultimate Integrity." And also, I have an episode. If you want a little bit of it, you can find an episode in this podcast titled "How to Become Ultimate Integrity." And then, if you're convinced enough, you can go to the course, and that is the step by step. So go and explore. But it's impossible for you to live a life of integrity and follow a leader that is a lie. That's why when political leaders they start doing wrong things, what happened? People revolve. People do revolutions. People take the power away from them because we don't permit a life without integrity for too much time. We can do it for a couple of months, maybe years, maybe decades, maybe centuries. But one day, people awake and people go and strive for a more integrous order and configuration, socially, politically, psychologically, in the familiar system, family systems, in everything. This is just truth. This is evolution. Evolution, notice, is driven by truth. And truth is unitary. It's a unification process. It's trying to merge everything. Very similar to love. When you are loving someone, you are merging someone. You are merging with someone, not in a codependent psychological state. That is not love. That is attachment. Love is in an intersubjective co-experience of beingness. That is love, in which I am you, you and me, and we are. And that's it. That is our truth. Just imagine that you can live like that with not only your partner and your kids, but also with your community, with the world, with the nation, with the politicians, with the whole cosmos. That is universal love. It's something that, hey, we are step by step actualizing in our spirit. It's a dirty work. It's not an easy work, dude. That's why almost, people don't do this type of work. Most people. But you are in this journey. So let's go and get organized. I already give you kind of a whole overview about what is truth. I was just flowing with consciousness, but now let's go step by step. So for you to understand really what is truth, you need to understand that truth, there's a difference between truth and truth with capital T. Truth without capital T is just something that may be true, or something that is relatively true, or something that is maybe culturally true, or something that maybe is true for you, but I don't know if it's going to be true for me, right? That is truth. If someone say, hey, that woman is very beautiful, and that is the truth, that truth is with uh inferior T, with non-capital T. right? Because it's kind of okay. Maybe you consider that woman very beautiful, the most beautiful in the world, but maybe she is, maybe she's not, right? But if you say in this other example, all women and all men and all intersexual carries in themselves, they carry in themselves beauty. That is truth. Oh, now notice we can say, I think that that is truth with capital T, because I'm pretty sure that all women, men, and intersex people, I don't care how you are, how bold you are, how black you are, how lesbian you are, how skinny, fatty, I don't care. You carry the substance of beauty within you, and you know it. And if someone that is enlightened, someone that is supraconscious, stare at you and see you, he will say, oh, wow, that is fucking infinite beauty right there. I can, I can see infinite beauty in everyone. Right? Because you are made of beauty. That is truth with a capital T. So, what I'm going to be discussing in this episode is truth with capital T, a truth that is more than opinion, is more than a fact, is more than a scientific statement, is a cosmological truth, tenet, principle, is a facet of God, is a Tetris in the universe. If the universe is made of Tetris, it's a specific piece of that Tetris. You cannot take it away. It's infrastructural for the whole existence. That is truth with capital T. And I want you from now on to pursue this type of truths, to discover them, and to actualize these truths. Always very, very alert and vigilant with your ego, because your ego is the master of saying, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, listen to this truth. And you're like, what? What's up? And your ego is, blah, 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 and he can tell you whatever thing. And you may say, oh, yeah, 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 that's truth. And then you adopt a belief, whatever it is. It may be, oh, you know that homosexuality is bad, and you adopt that as truth. Or it may be, oh, you know that Joaquin Phoenix is the best actor of the 21st century. That is truth. You know that. And you are like, oh, yeah, he is, right? Your ego will say whatever, man. That is what your ego do, right? Your ego is a politician. He's telling you stupid stuff and you believe it as truth. And I want you to understand, sometimes your ego will tell you some truth with capital T. Yes, it will. Sometimes your ego will be able to grasp a fundamental notion of reality. If your ego do not do this, you cannot communicate this truth, right? You cannot even put it in words. You cannot even think about them, because your ego is mediating everything in your psyche as you know it, as we know it, as a human experience. It's very important, this system of the ego. Don't get the ego wrong. And for more on that, listen to the episode titled The Angels of the Ego. Angels of the Ego. You will understand there everything that the ego does well for you. It's a reality tester, it's an organizer, it's a perceptual condenser, it's a identity condenser. It makes a lot of things easier for you to navigate this human life. It's not all bad with ego. Very important. But it's a liar. is a liar. And 99% of the things that will tell you is a lie, or at least is not truth with capital T. Sometimes he will tell you something that is truth, and you can notice the difference. Notice. You can notice the difference because you will feel in awe. You will feel mesmerized with the statement that your ego tells you. And you know in your gut, in your spirit, that maybe that is truth. And then you should go and do your research, and you should go and do further meditation and introspection and pragmatism to, practically experiment that truth or potential truth in your direct experience, in your everyday lifestyle, in your everyday life. You should confirm that truth. And if you can validate that truth with direct experience, with other philosophers, with other gurus, with other multiverses that also have expressed that truth, maybe, and just maybe, you can say, oh my coachy, this is truth. And once you understand a truth, oh boy, then you can actualize that truth. But let's go step by step, step by step. Also understand, my friend, truth is God. Don't get pissed and mad with a Muslim when they say Allah is truth, because they are right. They are right. But if you're a Muslim, don't get pissed with a Christian when they say Jesus is truth, because they are also right. And you, Christian, don't get peace with a Buddhist or a Hindu or a Jew when they say that whatever thing is truth, because they are also right. Because when you know God, I don't care the name, the concept, the traits, that is just superficial things. And for more on this, you should listen this imperative episode that I recorded just yesterday, that is called How to Live Forever with Gods. Once you know God, whatever God is truth. And no one can tell you otherwise, and no one can take that from you. If a person do not understand you, if a person do not believe the same as you, that doesn't mean it is not truth. It just means that you actualize that truth in your life. And that person, he actualized it differently. We are all singular multiverses. Sovereign multiverses. What I mean by that is that we are all building our own infinite reality. And that is a truth that you can also actualize. In a sense, this whole podcast is just a toolkit to actualize a better reality for you, aka a better truth for you. So if you want to be open to truth and to really understand truth, be open to God. Be open to the miraculous. Be open to the enigmatic. to the mysterious, to the things that you cannot even comprehend. That is truth. That is the mystic. That is the transcendental aspect of your life. And no one, that is the archetypal aspect of your life. No one can take that from you. That is your inner subjectivity that became a multiverse. We can call that an inner universality. The whole progress of a human being is to go from individual to universal, from individual ego to universal ego. That is truth. That can be your truth. If you go and all in strive for your own greatness, strive for your own potential, connection with God, connection with nature, connection with the whole cosmos, the openness of your consciousness, the expansion of your spirit, of your infinite intelligence, your absolute love and compassion, and your selfless service, you become truth. And then people will not understand what the hell is wrong with you. You know? People people will not understand what happened to you, man. They will say, "What the hell, man? Who are you now? Who are you? What have you become?" And that's beauty, man. Because you are reflecting the evolution of the cosmos, the evolution and the cosmos change. We are dying every day, and we are reborn every day as new creatures, as new things, as new truths, as new values, divine values, as new actions, as new movements in the world. Don't be ashamed to change. Don't be ashamed of becoming truth, of becoming more potent as a human, as a God, as a creator. That is your right. It's not only your right, baby. Is your psychological myth, is your narrative, is your story, is your movie, is the drama of your movie, is the drama of the play in the stage of life, is the song that is expressing through you, is the music of your soul, is the fire of your spirit, is the signature of your essence, is the tattoo of your substance, is the reproduction of your spermatica, of your origin, of your germ, is your truth. Also, truth is always your next level of growth. This is a very important point. a very important insight that you should meditate further. If you face your truth, whatever that is, and you know what is, you know what that is. What is your truth? What is the next truth that you need to face, that you need to act, that you need to embody? Ask yourself those questions. Write those questions down. Meditate those questions, and you will know. Your brain will give you the answers. Your brain already know what you need to do. What is your next truth for your next evolution? But here's the catch. It's painful. It's surrounded by suffering. Even we can say that truth is surrounded by karma. So of course that you don't want to face that, man, and you want to delay that. But for how long you will delay truth? Have you noticed that as soon as you embody your truth, whatever is, whatever you need to do in that moment, whatever is absolutely necessary, inevitable for your human soul expansion, for your divine right of decentralization and diversification of your soul, whenever you do that, it's like a, oh, like an orgasm, but in a, not in a physical way, but in a spiritual way. It's like you finally made whatever you had to make. It's like you finally start the movement. It's like you moved a tectonic plate from your character. And now you are liberating libido. You are liberating energy. You are liberating new possibilities. You are liberating a new 100 feet wave of potential forward, and you are becoming that thing. It's like you collapse time and space and all the other dimensions that can exist, and you became one with the future, the present, and the past. And for a couple of instants, you finally get it. You finally are enlightened. You finally achieve Christ consciousness, God mode. And then you come back to your human, narrow, limited, finite identity. But it's a more expanded identity, because every time that you face truth and you go forward bravely, with courage, with a leader heart, you grow, man. You expand, man. You become a better version of yourself. And that is the journey. So face your truth, face your destiny, proceed forward. And only you know what the hell that means for you. Only you knows. That is your truth. Truth also is always the way of integrity. If you are facing and embodying your truth, it's inevitable you will become whole again. You will become peaceful again. You will become complete again. It's like truth empty and clean all your karma, all your trauma, all your neuroses. It's like a purification of that. Of course, that is not beautiful. Of course, that you are going to the fetus position. Of course, that you are going to cry. Hey, healing is messy. Integration is messy. Transcendence is messy. But what else you will do? What other option do you have, dude? Right? To stay the same, to live in sickness, in disease, in trauma, in limitation all your life? Oh my gosh, I don't want that. I prefer truth. I will run towards truth. I will run towards integrity. What else I will do? In a way, you need to understand and learn how to enjoy the pain. How to enjoy the pain of growth and evolution and advancement. It's painful as hell. It's painful as hell. But you know what is more painful? To stay the same, to stay in the same tracks, in the same house, in the same country, in the same small town, with the same friends, with the same music, the same movies, the same sex, the same religion, the same art, the same creation, the same version, the same parties, the same values, the same habits. Man, that is worst. That is to be a cancer. That is to be stagnation, metaphysical stagnation, putrefaction, death, disease. You decide, man. Truth is a very personal decision that then becomes a collective decision. Also, countries, they need also to choose truth. In the case of Puerto Rico, my country, we are so behind in our collective consciousness. We are so behind politically, culturally, socially, psychologically. We are so behind economically. And until we do not face truth collectively, you're going to stay the same, sadly. But not only Puerto Rico needs to face this, United States as well, China, Russia, Ukraine, Latin America, Mexico, Japan, all the countries in the world. And then all the planet together as one country, as one civilization, as one species. We all have also to embrace truth. And obviously, different grades of order, like more people is a different grade of order, like, cell is an order, human is an order, a family is another order, a community is another order, a nation is another order, a continent is another order, a group of nations is another order, a world is another order, a universe, and blah, blah, blah. So different grades of orders, bigger and bigger grades of orders, will demand more truth and more truth and more truth. And it's more complex, those truths. And it's more difficult as well. I am not trying to be reductionist. I know that I don't have all the practical answers here and solutions. I know that. Um, but I will work on that. And during my career, I will try my best to bring forth some potential truths and solutions for better humanity. And let's see what happens. And finally, the last subject that I want to cover in this episode is that truth is actualizable. Truth is actualizable, is realizable. You can realize it. So you can have an idea of something, and that something may be truth, but it is not truth in your own reality yet. Like, let me give you an example. Maybe I can tell you that it is possible to be infinitely creative. And that is going to be my new course that I will be launching very soon. Almost done in that course. And I can tell you, and I know by more than a fact that that is infinitely truth. I already actualized that truth in my own multiverse. I know that that is truth. But for you, you may say, yes, that is right. And you may have it as an idea, right? You may have it as a concept, as a scheme in your mind. But then you don't create every day, and you may be thinking about writing a book, but you don't write it because you think that you are blocked creatively, and you have in your mind, okay, creativity is infinite, but you don't actualize that truth. If that means that that is not truth, no, it means that it's truth, but you haven't materialized that truth in your own reality. It's like you haven't downloaded that truth. So let's say in this example of computers and softwares, like if Word document, Microsoft Word document is a very famous program for writing. If you are in a college, university, you know what is, right? Well, the fact that Microsoft Word documents or program exist is truth. But if you don't have it in your laptop, maybe for you, it will not be truth. But as soon as you go and download the program and install the program and use the program and start writing, then you say, oh, look, it's not only truth, it's truth with capital T. I am seeing it with my own eyes. I can see how this program works. Right? Exactly the same with applications in your phone and whatever you can actualize. Also with movies, this happens. And if you want more information about how to use movies for maximum growth, please listen to the episode titled Movies Are the New Church. That episode will change your life. Movies are the new church. So there's thousands and thousands of movies and books as well that exist. But until you don't hit play and see the movie, it's not truth. Well, it is truth that the movie exists, but you haven't downloaded the spirit of the movie, the lesson of the movie, until your consciousness look at its own consciousness through the movie, because a movie is consciousness looking at consciousness. And I will do more episode about the metaphysical implications of cinema in the future. Stay tuned. So it's consciousness looking at consciousness. And then when you see that movie, you can actually actualize that truth in the movie. But you need to watch it, right? You need to watch it. You need to read the book to actualize the truth in the book. You may know that Hamlet is a book, But you haven't actualized the truth in Hamlet if you haven't read Hamlet. You see? It's exactly with truths. If you don't implement the truth, if you don't practice the truth in your everyday life with systemic and periodic habits for actualizing that truth every day, step by step, with discipline, that truth may be truth, but not your truth. And you will not reap the benefits of that truth. Of the truth of meditation, for example, of the truth of sex mastery, for example, of the truth of infinite compassion. You know that they may be true, but you will never, ever be able to grasp those benefits if you don't actualize infinite compassion in your own mind and heart. By practicing self compassion. And for more on that, go to my episode titled Compassionate Your Multiverse. Compassionate Your Multiverse. So every episode that I do here in this podcast is an actualizable truth. You can decide if you apply them or not, but if you do, all in, you will notice that, oh my God, I changed something in the infrastructure of my reality. And then it will become your truth. And then you can transference, you can transfer that truth to other people with your own art, with your own output, with your own fruit. And that is what is. That is truth. Wow. One of the most profound podcasts of all time. It was a sublime experience for me. I feel amazing, beautiful, full of love, full of consciousness. Thank you for being here. Remember to donate on Patreon, support this podcast. It's a free content. Please support on Patreon. The link is in the description. Also, join in our chat in Telegram. It's completely free. And go to derekisrael.com. There you can, book my coaching service. You can book my guru service. You can book my psychotherapy. If you live in Puerto Rico, you can find my courses there, the books that I will be selling, and everything there in derekisrael.com. And thank you for being here. I see you in the next one.